What does a top producing real estate agent do during a quarantine? Follow me around today and you can see. One of the things that I learned going through the downturn in 2008 and 2009 was the importance of making sure my mind was in the right place at all times. And one of the things that I did for that is having a strong morning routine. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a morning routine today that I've been doing every day to help get me set up right, so that I feel right, so that I feel centered, so that I feel grateful. But then throughout the day, it's important too to take mindset breaks. And what that is essentially take 20-minute breaks a couple times a day as needed, or even if you don't think you need one, where you just start flooding your mind with something positive, reading a book for 20 minutes, doing some meditations, doing some breathing exercises, doing something in the middle of the day just to kind of help you get centered again and kind of help you just get into your body and kind of relax as we're going through this hard time. One of the most important things to do in any day, but especially right now, is to do a gratitude journal. So I have this 5-minute journal, and basically at the start of every page it has a quote. Today's quote is, "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving," by Albert Einstein. And so I write down 3 things I'm grateful for, the 3 things that would make today great, my daily affirmations, I am, and then later tonight I do 3 amazing things that happened today, and how could have I made today better. And again, the mind is trained to look for what is wrong, because that's how it keeps us alive, right? Like back in the caveman days, it had to know if there was a saber-toothed tiger or some kind of trouble coming or some kind of enemy coming to loot their camp. And so it's always looking for what's wrong. And so our minds, unfortunately, are designed to look for things that are going wrong. And so we have to retrain our mind through gratitude and through doing these kinds of exercises to get your mind to look for what's great or what's going correct. And so that's the importance of you don't need an actual gratitude journal. You can jump on and find one on Amazon, 2 seconds. Brenda Burchard, I think, does a really good one. But this is just a simple gratitude journal every day to get my mind right, get my head looking for things that are going right instead of things that are going wrong. Another thing that I do every single day is I actually keep a real journal, a normal journal. I even write Dear Journal. It's just a habit I started all the way back in 9th grade, and so that's where I kind of just write out my feelings, kind of try to get whatever's in my head out onto paper, whatever's in my heart, get it out on my paper. Helps me to clear those, and then also to kind of have some direction for where I'm going. So I do that, try to do that every single day. So one of the most important things you can do during anxiety or fear times and things like that is to remember the importance of breathing. So I have a buddy named Mo Brissett. If you guys want to follow him on Facebook, it's Morris Brissett, Brossettee. And I met this guy in Costa Rica at a wellness retreat, and he's just a total stud. And he does these breathing exercises. He also does a lot of exercises from home that anybody can do. So he's a really good guy to follow during this time. But most breathing techniques is, anytime we start feeling these negative emotions or whatever, we have to stop and we have to breathe. And he gives a couple different techniques of ways to breathing. And so you'll see me do that next. So somebody that I interviewed on my podcast earlier this year, a guy by the name of Robin Sharma, he wrote the book, The 5 a.m. Club. And one of my favorite things about that book, I'm still struggling to be the 5 a.m. I'm more like the 6 or 7 a.m. club right now. But he talks about his 20-20-20 every morning. You do 20 minutes of gratitude, 20 minutes of studying something. That's where you just saw that I was reading. Try to do that every single morning for 20 minutes. And then 20 minutes of physical exercise. And so that's what I'm going to do. I like to use I learned at Tony Robbins to use one of these little mini trampolines, because it kind of gets your whole body to get movement and everything else. So since we're quarantined right now, it's kind of more like a 45 is what I've been doing, a lot more time on that morning routine. We're at home, that's why I'm in my workout gear. I'm not meeting with any clients right now, so I'm just trying to really get my day set up correctly, get my day going right. So one thing I like to do when I eat my breakfast is I listen to different podcasts and stuff like that. Today I'm going to be listening to my own podcast, only because every time I release a new podcast, I want to make sure that the audio is correct, everything sounds good, and everything else. But important too, so I've been listening to my podcast so far today. So one of my goals during the quarantine is to make at least 50 phone calls every single day. staying in touch with past clients, friends, people, leads, different things like that. And so one thing that you're gonna notice today is I'm gonna be on the phone all day long. I just make phone calls all day long because that's something we can do from a quarantine position, and just talk to people, just check in on people. You'll notice I'm not gonna be trying to sell them real estate necessarily, just helping out any way I can. Now is one of the best times you'll ever have as a real estate agent to be able to truly solidify that for friendship and relationship with a lot of your people in your life. You know, a lot of times real estate agents get the bad rap, I guess, of just being in it for the money or the commissions, or it can be a little bit pushy, all those things. So now's a good time to back off all that. No one's doing any real estate right now anyways, and just call and check in on people. Just call and see how people are doing. Being a top producing real estate agent isn't just about grinding phones for leads all day long. It's about a way of being, and be the kind of person that people can lean on during this time. People are scared. I've had very, very successful people reaching out to me that don't know what to do on different things. And so I'm just trying to be a resource or be somebody that people can count on. That's why I spent so much time this morning on my morning routine of really going through and getting my mind right, getting my body right, so that I can show up for all these people today. It's gonna be a hard day. There's a lot. I mean, today's gonna be the next crazy day in all of this. It's the beginning of a new week. Today's a Monday. Don't know when you're watching this, but the bottom line is there's a lot of craziness, and so I have to be right. And so I wanna make calls all day long, and I just wanna be a positive person. I just wanna be somebody to give them a little bit of hope, a little bit of faith, you know, somebody they can stand on a little bit during this time. Taylor, this is Jimmy Rex giving you a call. How you doing, man?
What's up, Jimmy? How's it going?
Good. Hey, it's Jimmy Rex calling you. How are you?
Hey, Jimmy, I'm doing good.
Number one is going to be the coaching and training they're going to provide for you. Now's a good time because you're going to have some downtime as well, right? With the coronavirus and everything. So it's a good time.
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on, man? Sorry I missed your call. And honestly, you can just...
Not have to compete, not get a multiple offer, while everyone else...
Jordan, what's up, man? It's Jimmy calling you. Hey, got your message. So a couple things. So yeah, so... Yeah, likewise. Let's stay in touch, and then... Hey, Steve, how you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Sweet. You're good, dude. I know you're busy man. You're awesome. Good to see you, Cam.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right.
Our next one is in April.
Right.
And we're just gonna move ahead with it.
Hey, Jimmy, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Not doing pretty good.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So talk. No, that's okay. Thank you. Right, actually, I'm just going to do this different. Is that it? Thank you. So I did my morning routine. I got a couple of little errands ran out of the way, some things I want to do. And so now what I'm going to do is for the next couple hours, I'm going to really focus on my lead generation still. And again, not many people will be buying and selling homes for the next couple of months, it looks like. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go, and I've made a list of all my elite clients, the people that I care about the most. And on this contact list, I'm going to contact about 50 of these people every single day and just check up on them, see how they're doing. In my elite list, I've got about 250 people here, and I'm just gonna go through every one of them, just call them, check on them, see if they need anything, see if they have any real estate questions. A lot of people are reaching out, trying to figure out what's happening with this market, what's going on. And so for the next couple hours, every day I'm gonna spend 2, 3, 4 hours just calling people, staying in touch with them. This is our job as real estate agents right now, is to just be a calming voice and to give a little bit of direction, be that market expert. I'm not gonna say anything that I don't know, but I'm gonna kind of give them some ideas of some of the things I'm hearing. And so that'll be the next couple hours. We'll just take a couple little videos of it so you can see and go from there. So here's a list of 10 things you can do right now for your real estate business while we're quarantined inside your house. So one of the things that I'm doing during this time is I'm spending at least an hour today on master classes, learning skills I've always wanted to do. This particular one is a master class. This is a guy named Chris Voss, and he's a professional negotiator. He worked for the FBI for all these years. And so we take time every single day and watch and learn how to be a better negotiator. Another thing that I'm doing, the second thing I'm doing that you can do right now during this time is I'm going through my entire profit and loss, all my finances, and I'm really dialing them in and eliminating any finances that aren't necessary, any expenses that I don't need to have, I'm completely eliminating right now. So I'm literally going through my entire list of every single expense that I have. I'll be spending a couple hours today and tomorrow on this to really dial in and just, frankly, just make sure we're not wasting any money. So another thing that I'm doing and that I'm working on right now is I'm going back, I'm taking a lot of the old seminars and classes that I've been to, and I'm reviewing all the notes. We go to so many seminars and we take, we learn all these things, but sometimes we don't take the time to stop and actually review them and internalize them. So I'm going back, I'm just going through all my notes. This was a Tony Robbins event that I went to a couple months ago, and gives me a really good opportunity to go back and study these, read these, internalize all the things that I learned. I take so many notes while I'm there, and it's really important to go back and actually review them. And I usually don't have time. You're starting to implement, so it's a really good opportunity to slow down and do that. So reading is one of those things that I love doing. Audible has kind of killed actually sitting down and reading for me a little bit. It's just so much easier to do Audible. But a lot of the books I like to read, they don't do as well on Audible because you kind of want to take notes, you want to think about it, you want to stop. And so this is a book, it's by Keith Cunningham. This is the original guy that was the rich dad on The Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he has this book called, this particular book's called The Road Less Stupid. The reason why I've been reading this book is obviously with the world changing, there's going to be huge opportunities to both take advantage of the downturn from coronavirus, but also to protect ourselves going forward to make sure that we run our businesses in such a way that we don't get in trouble anytime there's a market downturn. So I'm just picking a different book each couple days. I'm reading, really spending some time sitting down for a few hours at a time and working on my mindset around those business ideas. One of the things that I coach a lot of agents about is their social media presence. So one of the things that I did yesterday is I had a coach that I call, he's very good at social media, has over 1 million followers, built this thing from scratch. And he essentially taught me how to do a couple things different on my page. And so what I've been going through and doing is an audit of what my page is going to look like, what I'm doing on it all the time. And so now with my page, I've done that, and so now I'm very strategically going about to build my Instagram page. Every single day I'm going to put a lot more effort and attention into that. Part of that is making sure that I'm going through and I'm sending direct messages to a lot of the people that follow me or that commented on my pages. Go back and comment, anybody that commented on my pictures, I'm going back through all my old photos and I'm complimenting, or I'm saying thank you for complimenting me, or whatever it might have been. I'm just going through those pictures and getting back to people that commented on me. So I'm really taking a proactive approach to using Instagram while we're down, stuck in our houses. So the sixth thing that I'm doing, again, is I've got all my video equipment here. You can see is I'm really dialing in my content creation right now. I was just talking to another agent. He's kind of an introvert, and he said that he's going to use this opportunity to really start to brand himself as an introverted real estate agent and try to really attract those other introverts that are similar as him. Has a great business, does a great job. This is something that I think will help him align. So again, one of the things that I'm doing is every single day I'm making videos, I'm working on my content creation, videos just like this one for you guys. I really want to take advantage of this time, both for real estate and for my coaching, everything that I'm doing, to, now that I have time to make all this content, to not let it go to waste. So another thing that I'm doing is I decided I wanted to support my local friends that own businesses. I have a lot of friends that own restaurants, Ivy's Restaurant, Crumble Cookies, Duck Donuts, the founders, Bam Bam's Barbecue. And what I did is I went out and I've spent over $10,000 on gift cards this week alone to help support my friends. I told them I'm not gonna use any of these gift cards until after this whole thing passes. But what I'm gonna do as well is I'm gonna send them to everybody that sent me a referral or a real estate deal in the last year or two. And I'm gonna just thank them again for their business and let them know this in this time of need, if they really need to use this card, that they should go out and use it to get some food. But if they can save it and wait till everything passes, gets to a little bit normal again, that would be the better use of it. But that's a way that I can support friends that have supported me, something I'm very adamant about. The eighth thing is something that you guys saw earlier in the day that I was doing, is that's making 50 calls every single day to friends or clients or whoever, just touching bases with them. One of the calls that I made, the guy said, dude, you're just calling to check on me? That's so cool. That's the feeling they're gonna get. You just want people to know you care. Like, really just call them because you care. Call them and see how they're doing. And honestly, somebody might need you right now that you don't know about. So it's a good opportunity to look for that and to reach out. So the ninth thing that I'm doing is I'm making sure that I do a lot of podcasting right now. I just set up 2 more podcasts this week for already today. Podcasting is super simple. The number one thing people wonder about is, what do I need to buy? And honestly, it's this simple. All you need is one of these H5 handy recorder Zooms, a microphone, a cord, and a stand, and these little SD cards. That's all it takes. In fact, if you're interested, I'll put in the comments below at this video, I'll put exactly the links to everything you need to buy to start a podcast. Every single person should be podcasting. Document whatever you want. Document real estate right now. Document the coronavirus. Talk about whatever you can. Educate your clients on anything that you think is important for them. Be the market expert. This is the opportunity. Podcasting is so easy. Do it right from your house. The last thing that I'm doing, and this is, if I ever have a week, I haven't really been able to start this yet, but if I ever have a week that's really just a tough week for me where I have a lot of extra time, I'm going on Zillow, and what I'm doing, I'll zoom this up so you can see, is I'm taking every single one of my clients that's in my system, 700 different clients. I'm printing out the Zillow estimate of their house, and then I'm doing a free CMA for them. And I'm gonna say, Zillow says your house is worth this. This is what it's actually worth today, and I'm emailing those to them so they can see what their house is worth in today's market. It doesn't cost anything, it just takes a lot of time, but it's a free CMA for them. I do an actual CMA, I do this CMA. They haven't even asked for this, they're not reaching out for this. It's just something that I'm doing individually for every single one of my clients so they know what their house is worth, and then I'm gonna obviously follow up with them and ask, knowing what your house is worth, is there anything you want to do? You're thinking about maybe moving up and taking advantage of these low rates, or if there's some houses that come up on bargains, stuff like that. So that's the last thing I'm doing. You should not run out of things to do as a real estate agent. The most important thing you can do right now is remember that you need to work 8 to 10 hours a day. Treat this like a real job, from 9 to 6 or whatever it might be, 8 to 5. Just treat this like a real job. Put in the hours every day. Make sure they're productive hours. Be creating content, be creating relationships, really building those bonds with your clients and friends. And when we come out of this, whether it's 2 weeks or 2 months or 2 years, you're going to be set up to destroy the market, to absolutely capture so much more market share than before.